everyone and welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name's Stephanie and this is my channel that's all about cross stitch. So this is a bit of a mixture of a video, so it's partly a WIP update and partly a bit of a new start WIP parade, I suppose. So if you are a regular viewer, then thank you for coming back to spend some time with me, and if you are new, then welcome. I am a Eder stitcher and I stitch probably at the moment mostly full coverage, but I do also do non-full coverage and some stamped kits as well. So all of the projects today are going to be full coverage, so if that's not your thing, then that's totally fine, and hopefully I will have some non-full coverage mixed in to my future video. So what I'm going to do is, just in case people aren't interested in seeing very small starts, I will start off the video with my kind of regular WIPs, which is only 4 of them. So I'll start off with those, and yeah. So as I've got quite a few to share, it's a bit bulky, so I've got a little bit of, I probably will have a bit of crinkling because I've got the folders at the side. I've tucked them out, but I have got the folders like on top so I can see which one each one is. So yeah, so first of all, I'm going to start off with this one. So I'm just going to show you, I know I've shown these before, but these are the sort of things that I have. I have some that are like this, and recently, well, I say recently, a few months ago I think it was, I found a pack of, I think it was like 30 of these, and they have the little cards in them, and that's what I've been using for most of my projects now. So this one is actually fully kitted up because it only has a very small amount of colours. So I've made all of my floss drops for those, and as you can see, that's like a very, what's it called, like a monochrome style, black and white kind of thing. So anyway, so this one is Mini Beloved Flipped by artwork by Adele, Sessler, and it's charted by Hibernate Designs. So this one is being worked on a 16 count white Eder, so I'm doing this one 2 strands full cross with CXC. So I'm trying to round out all my projects by like a 500 rotation, so I think this had, I want to say like 500 and something stitches, so I've worked on this one and I've got it rounded out to 1,000. So this is top left hand corner. So that was, I kind of like mapped out the page, and I'm trying to, with this one now, I'm going to try and come over the whole design because I know that this fabric is larger than it needs to be. I think it comes only up to about maybe about here. So my plan is to go and try and do a few of my projects now in rows. So yeah, so that's what I've done. My light's causing weird things on the screen, so sorry about that. So as I said, this is 2 strand full cross, so 1,000 stitches out of 81,750, and it's currently at 1.22%. And as you can see, obviously there's a lot of what do they call that? Is it like checkerboard or chessboard or something, when it's kind of like 2 colours back and 2? So yeah, so obviously that's the top of the man's head. So, and as you can also see if you're a regular viewer, that I'm trying to slowly, with a lot of the projects now, work some of the park threads in just for a little while, and then I'll start parking again because that's what I tend to do. But yeah, sometimes I just get a bit bored of seeing all the parked threads. So yeah, so that's that one. And then the next one is quite a new start. So this one is Elemental Earth Witch by Boogie Stitcher over on Etsy. So when I started this one, I did my first lot of stitches that was 500, so now I've done another 500, which is now 1,000. So yeah, like I said, as you can see, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So this one is my kind of regular the third one, which is an 18 count 1/1 full cross with CXC. So again, top left start, so 1,000 stitches out of 90,000, and it's currently at 1.11%. And as you can see, I've only got very minimal park threads, so yeah, you can see that's like the witch's hat. And again, with this one being as it's a new one, I'm going to try and just work along the top row first and then come back and start page finishes. So now this one, I'm not too sure if you're going to see much difference on it, just because there's not, it's only like 500 stitches, but so basically this one is so it's Angelic by artwork by Eder, Rosa, and charted by Stitches So Beautiful. So this one is on a 18 count easy count fabric, and it's now being worked on a 2/1 tent stitch with CXC. It had been started in a different method, but I feel like I've talked about that enough in the past, so we're just going to go with it. It's on tent stitch. So I originally started top right, worked along, got to top left. So this time I have just finished off some of the missing threads in there, missing gaps, and that now has become a page finish. So this now has 3 page finishes along the top. So that one's 1, that is 2, and this bit here is now 3. So the 500 stitches I did this time, it was obviously to finish off that page, and then just mostly filled in some of this and just little bits really. So like I said, it's probably not super noticeable. So yeah, so as you can see, that's what I'm aiming to do with that one. I'm trying to just get that top section done. So yeah, so that's that one. So that is 16,500 now stitches out of 160, and it is currently at 10.31%, and as I said, I did get a page finish on that one. And then this one hasn't come out for a really long time. I'm not sure why. I was doing like a kind of spin the wheel thing, and I just don't think this one got picked. So yeah, so I just decided to pull this one out because I know that I haven't worked on it in a really long time. So this one is Look of Revenge by Boogie Stitcher, and I'm doing this one again on an 18 count. This is just a 1/1 full cross. So I was trying out what's it called, the diagonal method, and as I've decided now that I kind of want to just do the top row and then kind of do page by page, I'm trying to just work some of this in. So what I've done this time, I've just started to come along the top, and then it seemed to be a lot of like white stitches, so I got bored. And then I've sort of, as you can see, I've like started to fill in from where the diagonal was like here. I've started to just fill across, and then obviously I've left all the park threads because that's going to take quite a while now to work all those in, because as I said, I want to kind of stick to like a 500 at a time rotation. So this one only got 400 stitches just because I had 1,600 and I wanted to round it out. So this is now at 2,000 stitches out of 90,000, and it's currently at 2.22%. And as I said, that one's on a 18 count. So hopefully I have had like previously done images, so I would have been able to add those in, so you would have seen that as I was showing it. So I'll just get this drink if it's cooled down. So I made it just before I started filming, and then it was like way too hot, so yeah. So yeah, so as I said, so they're my regular WIPs. So if you're only interested in the regular WIPs, that's absolutely fine. And then I'll, you know, catch you on the next video. And then if you are interested in lots of new starts, which don't have very much progress because I went on a bit of a mad week, I have another pile. So I'm just going to pause for a second so I can move these and rearrange the others, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. So this one I had actually started a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been the one before my last video, I can't quite remember now. And I know I'd mentioned in that video that I did have another one, but it didn't have enough stitches. I've not added any more to it, but I thought, being as it's a bit of like a WIP parade sort of style thing, I thought that I'd just add it here. So this one is called Good Times Harbour. It's artwork by Chuck Pinson, and it's charted by Artecy cross-stitch. This one, at the time when I did it a couple of weeks ago, it got 62 stitches. I really did think that I was going to get more, but I haven't picked it up yet, so it still has 62 stitches. My little star. So this is 62 stitches out of 67,500, and it's at 0.09%. So this is 18 count, 1/1 full cross CXC, and yeah, so that's my very tiny little start on that one. And then, so yeah, so like I mentioned, so I've had this past week off. I did say I wasn't going to do any new starts, and then I decided that what I would do is start them all off, and then basically that way I've started them off, I can add them to my spin the wheel rotation, and then when they get pulled they get worked on, and then I do like a 500 stitch rotation. So I started off doing like, you know, 100 stitches, 200 stitches, and then I just kind of literally went, I'm just going to start them off. So some of these have really small amounts, so these aren't the order I worked them, and this is just like how I've wrote them down to share. So this one is another Chuck Pinson one, which is why I've placed it together. So again, it's charted by Artecy cross stitch, 18 count, 1/1 full cross. So this one is called The Bluebird Song, and this one I just wanted to get a start on it. So it has 50 stitches, and that is 50 stitches out of 90,828, and it's at a 0.06%. So yeah, so as you can see, it's not got very much at all. Obviously all of those threads I'm going to work in when I pick it back up. I did only literally do this one yesterday afternoon, which is why I left them at 50, because I just I knew I wasn't going to be able to get very much more, so I just left it at a small start. So that is another start. So this one this was like the first one that I did at the beginning of the previous week. So what I did is, as I stitched them, these ones obviously got 500. Once they got 500, I added them to my spin the wheel, and then once I stitched on all of my new starts in some way or form, I was getting ready to film this today. So yesterday I just basically stitched on like so I basically spun a wheel yesterday, and what I got on that is what I stitched on yesterday, and straight away this one came back up. So it's had a lot more stitches than, you know, I was expecting. So this one is it's a quick stitch. So this is a heaven, so I do have a few like Heaven and Earth designs, so I do have a few quick stitches that I started off. So this is Quick Stitch Genevieve. It's by Lynn and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So this one, let me work it out because they're all on different ones. So this is a 14 count, and I'm doing this 3 strands tent. Yeah, that's right, 3 strands tent. So this one actually now has 836 stitches, because as I said, I'd got the 500, and then when I spun it, I obviously got up to 836. So obviously my aim now for this later today is to get it up to the 1,000. So 836 out of 27,300, and it's at 3.06%. And as I said, it's on a tent stitch, so it won't probably take that long to do. I know that you can see some of the white behind it, but it is CXC, and obviously once I've washed it, it will fluff up. And to be completely honest, I'm doing another one, another Hannah Lynn one actually. So I'm doing another one which is a 4-strand tent, and I just wanted to see basically what 3 strands look like. So yeah, so that is so I think the whole pattern comes to about here. That's obviously just, you know, it's no more black in this section. So yeah, so that's kind of the length of it. So it's a small one. So yeah, so that's that one, which as I said, I'm going to go back to later on. And then my next one, obviously another Quick Stitch. So this one is called Quick Stitch Her Concealment, Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Ching-Chou Kuik. I hope I'm saying that right. And this one is a 18 count, and I'm doing this one 2 strands 10. So this one only has, so this has 350 stitches. So I'll just fold that over because there's not any on that bit. So yeah, 350 stitches out of 31,050, and it's at 1.13%. So usually, as I've mentioned already in this one, usually my 18 count go-to is a 1/1 full cross. But I thought, being as I have a few of these quick stitch ones that I've just started, I've done all of them in 10 stitch, just because they're only small, and also I am trying out different, you know, different methods and things like that. So I'm interested to see, you know, how that goes. So that's that one. Just get some of this coffee. Okay, and then the next one is called Quick Stitch Wintery Walk Fae, and this is artwork by Nadia Tate. So this is an 18 count as well, and again I'm doing this one on a 2-strand tent. The piece of fabric that I'm using for this isn't the best size, but it does fit it, so this is why it is in like quite a close top corner. I'm not really bothered about big margins or anything like that, because I do put my masking tape around the edges, so it's not like they're going to fray or anything like that. And as you can see, like I've mentioned, I'm trying out you know, like no park thread sort of thing at the same time. So this one has 100 stitches. So yeah, most of these now pretty much have 100 stitches. So 100 stitches out of 47,915, and it's at 0.21%. There's obviously not much to see, which is why I, you know, did this video like this, because I know that it might be quite boring to just see these little bits of starts, but I just thought it might be quite fun because it's a lot of different charts that I'm showing. Right, so next one is Quick Stitch Daffodil Springs. This one is another Hannah Lynn one. So this is a 16 count cream Zweigart Eder, just because that was actually packaged when I bought it, because most of my fabrics, all these pieces I'm using, were from a charity shop find, and this one was actually still packaged and everything, so that's good, so I actually know what it is. So this one I'm trying out, let me double check. Yeah, so this one I'm trying out a 3-strand tent stitch. So as I said, this is a 16 count. So this is 100 stitches out of 47,730, and it's another one that's at 0.21%. So yeah, like I said, not very much done. Obviously the threads need to be worked in, but they have a start. So they're currently now WIPs. So the next one is Artecy, and it's artwork by Tereena Clarke, and it's called Mini Puppy Love. I think this was, I want to say it was one of like the free monthly patterns on the site. It is still available on there, but obviously now it is at a cost. This is the mini, so this is Mini Puppy Love, and I think there is a large version or like a regular size version as well. So this one I'm doing on 14 count, and I'm doing this one 3 strands tent, and I have 100 stitches on this one. It's the way I folded this, sorry. Alright, so that is the top, it's just the way I folded it, so I'm just going to leave it like that, it's easier. So that is the top. So 100 stitches, not a lot to see. So 100 out of 26,600, and it's at 0.38%. So if I just move, I'm just going to turn this light off just a second, because I feel like it's causing, so yeah, so I don't know if you can see that well, but I do find that it does look very neat on 14 count when it's 10. So yeah, so that's that one. Okay. Yes, I said what the stitches were. So this is another Artecy one, and it's another one that's charted by Clarke. Oh, I'm getting all mixed up. So this one is quite a new one on the site. There's a series of all different coloured dragons. This is the one that I like the most, so this is the one that I bought. So this is Mini Sleeping Yellow Dragon, and again, because this is a mini, there is a larger version available as well. So this one I am also doing 14 count 3 strand tent. So this is kind of like a cream colour Eder, and it's just like a random piece that I had, so it works out well for this because it's a small one. So it's 100 stitches out of 22,400, and it's currently at 0.45%. So it's just one colour so far, just 310. But yeah, it's like I think it's like 200 by like 112 or 115, so it's kind of like not very high, but it's like a bit wider. So yeah, so that's that one. And then I have another one from Artecy. So this one is called Mini Time to Hibernate, and it's based off artwork by Abraham Hunter. And this one got 100 stitches, but it is on a, let me double check, it's on a 22 count. Yeah, so this one's on a 22 count, so this is getting done 1/1 full cross, and that is 100 stitches out of 30,000, and it's currently at 0.33%. So yeah, not a lot to see. It's going to be a really tiny one, this one, because that's like a square that I had, and it's, as I said, a 22 count. So yeah, so that's going to end up like a little tiny one. So my next two are both Heaven and Earth Designs ones. They are both artwork by Sandra Kuck. I'm not saying that right, am I? But yeah, so anyway, so Heaven and Earth Designs. So these ones were going to be part of my 2026 start. One is in memory of my mum, which is why I was going to do like a new year, new start. And then I actually found this next one, like I said, it's by the same artist. And this one kind of reminds me of my brother when he was little, so I thought that would be, you know, quite a nice one, and it kind of companion piece to it. And yeah, like I said, I just decided to like start all the things this past week. So I went with the mini version for this one just because there's a lot of sky and a lot of green and trees, and I just thought that it's just too many stitches for the big one for me, and I didn't really need this one to be full size. So this is Mini Gone Fishing. I'm working this one on a 25 count Eder from Amazon. And so far I have only 50 stitches because I am not very fast on 25 count. I'm trying to get better. My other project I'm doing on 25 count, I am doing it 2/1 tent. So I do want to, you know, try out 1/1 full cross just so I can kind of get a feel for that one. So this is 1/1 full cross with CXC, and like I said, it's just a very small start. So it's 50 stitches. There's not really anything to see whatsoever. So it's 50 stitches out of 95,875, and it's at 0.05%. This one, I don't have the thing for it now, I throw it away, but basically it is a 25 count Eder. If I can find it, I will kind of like show a picture just so you can kind of see what it looks like in case you wanted to look for it. It tends to be quite a small one, and it's obviously very stiff because it's very like starchy. So yeah, so again, that's probably going to be a very small one, but it is only a mini, and this is just like kind of, like I said, like a companion piece to this next one, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't get stitched all that fast. So this one is, like I said, this one's a memory piece from my mum, and this is quite intimidating because it is 625 by 625 stitches. It's a circular design. There wasn't a mini available. I know I could have requested one because it was on HAED, but I just went with the one that was available. So this is, as I said, so this is a very big one. I decided I did get fabric in an 18 count for it, and it is absolutely huge. And I just feel like that might get too overwhelming with all of that fabric. So I don't know about that, but I've got that piece that I'm keeping to one side for now. So I've started this one on 25 count, and I'm doing it 1/1 full cross just because I think with it being so big, I think that 10 stitch might end up getting like all over the place. I don't know. So it's a very small start because I'm trying to figure out the best way. So what I've done is I have got the middle of the fabric. So basically I've gone to the middle, and then I've tried to kind of make sure that the top and the bottom and the two sides have equal a couple of inches, and then kind of worked out like where the middle section is, and tried to like stitch that just to start the pattern off. So I do have hanging threads just because it was easy to leave them where they were. So that is the piece of the fabric. So as you can see, that's really big already, and that is 25 count, so you can imagine how big an 18 count was. So yeah, so I've got it to the top of where I want it because I'm only leaving just trying to wrangle this fabric, so I only wanted to leave like a few inches. So that is the very top of the pattern, so obviously it will come, I think it comes like up to about there, and then obviously that's when it starts to go down. So that has 137 stitches in it so far. So they are full cross, and like I said, it is 25 count. So that is 137 stitches out of 306,844, and it's at 0.04. So what I'm aiming to do with this one is just basically, I mean, the only unfortunate part, because I've started at the top, they're all very light colours. So I don't even know if that's going to show. Yeah, just about. So yeah, what I'm planning to do, so that is literally like the exact middle of the pattern, so that's like that one square, and then what I'm going to try and do is like you know, come over both sides at the same, you know, in between, so like do a block this side, block that side, work down a little bit, and then yeah, I'm going to try and just like kind of get it to about probably here, like on the, so it'll be like a block all the way along, and I just think then I'd be able to like start to fill it in, and it'll probably make it easier. This is obviously going to be a long time project, I am aware of that, which is why I just want to keep it full cross, and hopefully the 25 count will you know, be easy enough to do, just because I want to do a few of the Amy Stewart bookshelves in the next year or two, and obviously I would really need to do them on at least 25 count because they're huge. So yeah, we're going to see how this one goes, and if I have a picture, which I think I do on my phone, I will pop a picture up to show you, so that this is why this reminded me of my mum, this image, because the dress looks very much like her wedding dress that she had, and my mum was someone who didn't like her photograph taken, so I don't have a lot of photos of her. And then this one from when she got married, when she was very young, before obviously, you know, she had kids and everything, so these are some of the only good photographs that I have of her. So so yeah, anyway, so that is basically why I did this one, because I couldn't find something that she liked that I felt like I'd like enough to stitch, so this one kind of spoke to me more. So yeah, so that's that one. So that's all my new starts. I have lots and lots of more starts that I want to do, but I'm trying to you know, do them in stages. So my whole plan for the reason I've started all the new starts is because I've had an idea to try and keep 2026 very minimal for new starts. So we're going to go kind of like off topic, so I'll just mention before I start talking about this, if you're not interested in plans and all of that kind of stuff, then that's absolutely fine, and I hope to see you next time. So thank you so much for watching, and if you are interested in a bit of waffle talk and a bit of plans, then I'll try not to go on too long. So anyway, so I have been thinking a lot, and in 2027, in the August of 2027, I will be turning 40, and I have seen a thing, I think it's mostly on Instagram, where a lot of stitchers do like a 40 for 40, so 40 new starts before they're 40 or when they're 40. I'm not too sure how that works. If someone can tell me, that would be great. But yeah, so anyway, so I was thinking of somewhere in 2027, whether it's beginning, middle, whatever, of starting, as I just mentioned, like the Amy Stewart bookshelves. There's a couple of them, and you know, try and do some different things, like maybe like a long dog sampler, some, yes, just basically some like different starts, different styles, perhaps like Quakers, samplers, things that I've not necessarily really done. So yeah, so they're kind of like, that's my plan. I'm gonna kind of like take on some different styles and different companies and things. So because of that, I kind of don't want to really start too much in 2026, because obviously I have a lot of projects already. I have lots of planned new starts that I did want to do, so I'm kind of going with this thing that if I can start most of these off before the end of the year, then it's fine, because then I don't start any in 2026, which we all know is not going to be something I stick to. But that would be a plan, to like have a no new start, or like a no new full coverage start, if that makes sense. So like if I did start anything, it would only be like the little kits that I already have, just because I do want to work on them and, you know, get them actually finished and things. But yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that if I started all my new starts in the next few months, even if it is, you know, January 2026 perhaps, but I was thinking if I started all of my new starts, then I wouldn't have new starts to start, and then I could just wait until the 40 for 40. But I don't know, we'd have to see, because it is a lot of WIPs and everything, and it's trying to fit them all in, but I also kind of have this thing where I'm just thinking, well, you know, it's better to have it started than not have it started and things like that. So I don't know. So yeah, so that's my plan, or plans. So lots of new starts now, and then hopefully just progress. So yeah, so we'll see. So yeah, so that's everything from me today. I didn't think it would actually run, you know, normal time. I thought it would be quite short, but so yeah, so lots of random bits of starts. So obviously all of those now are added onto my spinner wheel, and I am going to try and stick to my spinner wheel, just because otherwise I end up stitching on certain projects more than others. And like the one I showed earlier, Look of Revenge, I haven't touched that for quite a while, and it's not even, you know, that I dislike it, I just haven't picked it up because it's not come up. When I have spun the wheel for a couple of days, it's not spun up, it's not come up, and then I've, you know, picked on a different project, and then I've decided, oh, I'm going to do this, and then, oh, I'm going to start this. So yeah, so hopefully I will actually stick to the wheel. So I do have a few new starts to do, but they are Christmas winter type ones, so they are gonna get done maybe towards the end of November. So I'm gonna have like a week or two where I just focus on building all of these new ones up. So I'm aiming to start off with 500, and like I said, I'm going to do them in 500 stitch rotations. I do have non-full coverage to start to work on because I don't have that many, and it would actually be nice to like kind of get them finished and stuff like that. And then obviously the stamped kits, I'm going to figure out a system for them, because I don't class them as a full coverage even though they are. I just class them as like a separate thing. The dolphin one I have does have a lot of stitches in it now, so that's going to be like the closest to being finished. So I do have a thing where I might just focus on that one for a few weeks and see if I can actually get that one finished by the end of the year, and that would be my like big one done then. So we will see. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little mini kind of like, you know, start parade. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed seeing all these new designs. I will mention that like I said, a lot of these were from Artecy, and they do have a sale. It's a 20% sale on their website, and it runs until I think it's like the end of November. So if there were any of the ones that you saw here that you were interested in, they are available like at a discounted price at the moment. And also Boogie Stitcher does have a sale this weekend in her Etsy shop. So if you are watching this in, you know, when I post it, you might be able to go and grab a bargain, because it's a massive 75% I think off sale, and there are some new charts on there which are larger full coverage than what she usually does, so you might be able to grab one of those as well. So yeah, so I just wanted to mention that, and I will see you all next time, hopefully. So yeah, happy stitching, happy Halloween, because I don't think I'll film now before that, so happy Halloween if you do anything for that, and I will see you all soon. So happy stitching, and thanks for watching. Bye.